Kelsey. Today we're going to talk about clicker training. The first thing we need to know is that the clicker is like a bridge. If you ask the dog to sit, the dog sits, you click, you give him a treat. It's the bridge between, yes, that's the behavior I want, and you're getting a treat. Because sometimes what happens is if you ask your dog to sit, and you're fumbling getting a treat out of your pocket, and the dog happens to look at a squirrel walking by, you click and you treat while that dog is looking at the squirrel. What have you just rewarded? Right? So we need to work on our timing for that, but we also need to use a clicker, which marks that correct behavior, and then let them know a treat is coming. Yes, that's the correct behavior, and you're going to get rewarded for it. Now you can use a marker word in lieu of a clicker. A marker word should be short, something like yes, good, or maybe good dog, but I wouldn't go more than 2 syllables because it's just too hard to spit all that out in the heat of the moment. So you can use that marker word, and then you also need a release word. Because if I ask my dog to sit, technically Tessa should sit until I release her. So if I'm going to work and I tell her to sit by the door and I go and get my car and come back 8 hours later, I'm not going to expect her to sit there all that long. She won't. So I would release her. So it would be, and that word can also be very short. A lot of people use things like okay, free, break. I like to use break. Break! She moved out of position. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. What the whole thing looks like from asking her to sit or down or something, marking it, rewarding it, and then releasing. Tessa, sit. Break. Break. Okay, I'm a little close so she's not breaking. We'll try that again. Sit. Break. There we go. Okay, so that is how we do that. Now your dog probably doesn't understand what the clicker tone means yet. She's had a lot of training with the clicker, so she knows what it means. In order to build value with this clicker, you are going to click and treat. Click and treat. Click and treat. Oops, tough, treat. That's called building value for the clicker, because the dog will soon learn to associate a treat every time he hears the click. Or your marker word, yes, can do the same thing. So before you start training your dog with the clicker, you want to load the clicker, and that's what I'm doing right now. Have about 10 treats in your hand. They should be soft treats so the dog can chew them fast. And go ahead and click treat, like you saw me doing. Do that about maybe 10 times, one session the first day, then do another session of 10 times the first day, and then the second day repeat that. By then your dog should understand what the clicker is, that the clicker means, oh yeah,